You need to hear this before you give up. The enemy attacks you the hardest right before the breakthrough because he knows what's about to happen. Not because you're weak, not because you're failing, but because you're finally aligned. You've stepped into obedience, you've stepped into calling, and now all of hell is on high alert. You're not just being resisted randomly, you're being targeted precisely. The pressure, the confusion, the temptation, the sudden emotional crashes, the subtle thoughts telling you to just walk away. They're not coincidences, they're coordinated. The enemy sees what's forming around you. He knows your prayers are moving things. He sees the doors being prepared. So, what does he do? He distracts. He discourages. He offers you counterfeit comfort, just enough to pull you off course, not to destroy you instantly, but to delay you quietly, to make you abort the promise with your own hands. And if you don't discern the timing of the attack, you'll misinterpret the pressure. You'll think God is punishing you. You'll start doubting your anointing. You'll start questioning your worth. But the truth is this: before every major move of God, there's a violent shaking in the spirit. Jesus was betrayed before he was glorified. Joseph was thrown in a pit before the palace. David had to face Goliath before the crown. The wilderness always comes before the promised land. And the enemy knows that if he can't steal your destiny, he'll try to exhaust you before you reach it. He wants you drained. He wants you bitter. He wants you broken down so low that you stop expecting God to move. He'll whisper, "It's not working. God's not listening. Nothing is changing." But he's a liar. John 8:44 says he's the father of lies. You don't defeat lies by entertaining them. You defeat them by standing in truth. And the truth is, Romans 8:28 is still active, even when you don't feel it, even when the door stays shut, even when the warfare feels unbearable. God is working all things together for your good. The resistance you feel isn't a sign of failure. It's confirmation that you're close. You're about to touch what you've been pressing for. And that's why the enemy is panicking. Have you noticed how the old temptations come back right before you take a new step in faith? How people from the past suddenly reappear? How your emotions get shaken at the worst possible time? It's a trap. He wants you to compromise. He wants you to settle. He wants you to think the waiting was for nothing. But the waiting is never wasted. God doesn't throw you into purpose. He plants you. And being planted feels like burial. It feels dark. It feels silent. It feels lonely. But deep in the soil, roots are forming. Strength is growing. Character is being forged. And when the time is right, God brings the increase. Galatians 6:9 says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you will reap a harvest if you do not give up." So don't give up. Don't break down at the edge of breakthrough. Don't misread the shaking. God is not absent. He's just doing his deepest work in silence. And when the devil sees that you won't break, that you won't bow, that you won't bend, he flees. James 4:7 says it clearly. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. So resist, even when it hurts, even when it's lonely, even when your flesh screams for relief, because that kind of obedience terrifies hell. That kind of faith moves mountains. That kind of surrender unlocks things in the heavenlies. You're not being crushed to be destroyed. You're being pressed to produce oil. Anointing only flows from those who survive the pressing. And if God is allowing this storm, It's because He trusts you to carry what's coming on the other side. You don't need to understand it all. You just need to stand. And if you're limping through this season, it doesn't disqualify you. Jacob limped after wrestling with God, but he walked away with a new name, a new identity, a new authority. So, if you're under attack right now, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What's coming?" Because something is, and it's big. That's why the shaking is heavy. That's why the warfare is intense. That's why you're exhausted, because the next level carries weight. And before God releases it, He tests if you can stand. So stand when the friends leave. Stand when your name gets dragged. Stand when you're misunderstood. Stand when it feels like nothing's changing. Because everything is changing. You just can't see it yet. Don't give in to the lie. Don't sell your birthright for a bowl of comfort. Don't bow to fear. Don't lay down your sword. You were built for this. You were called for this. And the God who began the good work in you, He will complete it. This is the final stretch, the final gate, the moment before the moment. So fight with everything you have. Pray even when it feels dry. Worship even when it feels empty. Praise like the walls are already falling. Because they are. And soon, what was pressing you down will break open the blessing. And you'll realize the attack wasn't the end. It was the beginning.